We are still a relatively young democracy, actually only just in our teenage years. But in this short time, we are making a bigger impact on the world stage, most notably in fields of e-democracy, citizen engagement, our work bilingually, and how we hold the government to account. So we celebrate our National Day. We acknowledge our growing reputation as a world leader in parliamentary democracy. Now, we might be small, but we are making quite an impact as an exemplar of modern democracy. I would now like to invite Joyce Watson, who is the chair of our branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, to say a few words. Joyce.
During the relatively short time that I have been chair of the CPA Wales branch and actively involved in the work of the association, it has become very clear to me that we as a branch have a good story to tell. I see the interest from countries and legislatures near and far within the CPA, in areas as varied as our innovative work in engaging with citizens, our positive model as a fully bilingual legislature, to our branch's persistent push for better governance within the CPA. People are taking note of us and our work. I am certain, therefore, and proud, that the CPA Wales branch is playing its part in contributing towards the Assembly's goal of promoting Wales and Welsh democracy. As the presiding officer mentioned, one of the areas in which our branch is driving forward is that of gender equality and the positive role which women parliamentarians have to play, a subject I am particularly passionate about and something I believe in which all our women Assembly members have an important part to play in promoting the affirmative benefits of women in democracy, from providing positive role models to directly creating and influencing family-friendly policies and to defend the further fundamental right of women across the Commonwealth and beyond. Looking forward, we will next year have the honour of hosting the British Isles and Mediterranean CPA Conference, where we will have the pleasure of welcoming delegates from 12 other legislators from within our region, as well as representatives from the wider CPA family. This is something I am personally very much looking forward to, as I know is the wider CPA Wales branch. It will provide us with the opportunity of discussing in detail our interests in some of the areas I've touched upon, such as gender and working bilingually, and of course, an occasion to proudly showcase this wonderful, iconic Senedd and our model of open, transparent and accountable democracy. Diolch yn fawr am eich sylw.
Beth y dylai dyn ystyried, ble mae'n dod ac ble mae'n myned. And I've got three heads to consider too, to salute St. David and this great institution, and also to mention the Consular Association and the fact that I am the Consul of Lithuania, and that Lithuania is taking over the presidency of the European Union later in the year, and that my ambassador shall be coming in October to address the chairs of committees and to talk about the direction of Union affairs. First of all, St. David, great St. David, and in these days of gender recognition, should I also mention great St. Winifred? Equally, saints who are patrons of Wales, and I believe whose prayers have sustained our nation through the ages. Isn't it strange that a movement which began in caves in the eastern desert of Egypt within 3 generations had created an intellectual force based on intense spiritual contemplation, which actually created Europe just as much as the barons who built the castles and moved the armies around did, and as much as the traders and the merchants did, and perhaps even more intensely because their views, their understanding held all these other activities together. So we remember St. David, and we remember this institution. We think of the place that we were in. You know, when I was in my late teens, I discovered in the little municipal park where the Government of Wales building now stands, a notice board fading painted probably in the 1930s, which said, "Site of future Welsh Parliament." I felt that St. David's prayers were there. And also I remember the salutation which was given by Owain Glyndŵr, our late sovereign lord, who in his retirement was walking along a country lane, says the story, and then he saw someone coming towards him to whom he could trustingly reveal his identity. It was the Lord Abbot of Aberconway, and he greeted him in these terms: "You were up very early in the morning, Lord Abbot." To which it is said, the abbot replied, "It is you, sir, who were up early in the morning. You rose 100 years too soon." That story makes me wonder how different Wales might be if this wonderful institution had come into being in 1899 rather than 1999. But history is littered with speculations, isn't it? But I remember going to the Lithuanian Parliament for the first time, a building not too different from this one, without the Richard Rogers additions. And the windows were split from gunfire, there were bullets in the walls, there were sandbags outside, there were militiamen there, and round the corner there were Soviet tanks waiting. When the foreign minister of Lithuania asked me in 2004, wasn't it, why should the Speaker of the Seimas attend the royal opening of the Senedd, I replied briefly, because new parliamentary institutions are not opened in Europe every day. There was no further questioning. The huge importance of what the Baltic states, I look at my colleague from Latvia here, there was a transformation in European civilization when those brave little countries, none of them larger than Wales, or maybe 100,000 here or there, but in size or population, stood up to Big Brother and actually began to transform the view which the world had of small countries. I've said enough of that. I must now turn to the Consular Association. We are actually, at the moment, 25 representations. I think I should read the names of them out to you because it's a kind of echo of great importance. Belarus, Brazil, Canada, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Hungary, Iceland, Israel, India, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lesotho, Lithuania, Malta, the Netherlands, Norway, Romania, Sweden, Slovakia, Switzerland, and Thailand. And at the moment, both Ethiopia and Ukraine are looking to appoint. Consuls can actually talk to people in the other country at government level. We can be a little catalyst which can open the way to communication, to conversation between parliamentarians, to voluntary agencies, to universities. We can make links. We are not big pawns on the great chessboard of state, but we can be a very useful catalyst, and that is our importance. Lastly, I will come to talking about my ambassador coming in a few months' time at the beginning of October, and I think that there is a huge importance in that recognition. Lithuania will, of course, not be happy to think of Britain even thinking of leaving the European Union. But I believe that David Cameron will have a good friend in his wish to reform the institutions and to reduce budgets.
Thank you very much. Thank you. In 2011, an official concordat was signed between myself and Sir Vernon Ellis, who is the Director of the British Council UK, to support the working relationships between the National Assembly for Wales and the British Council in Wales. And that concordat will help promote Wales on the international stage. I'd now like to invite the Director of British Council Wales, Simon Dancy, to say a few words. Simon.
Diolch yn fawr, Presiding Officer. It's a great honour for me here. I'm the first all-Welsh British Council Director coming from Barry, just down the coast as well. And I think when I got the post of British Council Director, I thought this is a wonderful opportunity to pursue my kind of twin passions and the twin passions of the British Council, which are art and education. And the British Council is about cultural relations. It was Raymond Williams, I think, once said, culture is one of the most difficult words in the English language. But the British Council has taken that challenge on of cultural relations and works here in Wales to make links through its art programmes, working with organisations like the Arts Council of Wales, Wales Arts International, and through its education programmes, Erasmus, Comenius as well, to make great links. And I think, as Rosemary just said, our relationship here with Welsh Assembly is very important to the British Council as well, about how we can work together to bring the best of Wales out to the wider world and bring the best of the world into Wales to work with, especially our young people. I'm not here to make a long speech today. I'm here to introduce the band, which seems to be my role in life as well. So one of our people that we work with, probably about 2 years ago now, a musician called Gareth Bonello, alongside Wales Arts International, we sent him to China to work on developing some music, and he's going to play you some of the music that he developed at that time. And I think the only thing I'd like to add before I introduce him is to remind people as well that we have a great British Council, Wales Arts International, Arts Council event that's taking place later this year around music, which is the Womex Festival taking place in October. So, diolch yn fawr iawn, Gareth Bonello.
Dan gysgol trwm y mynu dim ond ala oer y glaw a sisiad istaw pynnu ma'r daith dros fryn a dŵr am gyngor gŵr doedd
Cynulliad Cenedlaethol Cymru yw'r corff sy'n cael ei ethol yn ddemocrataidd i gynrychioli buddiannau Cymru a'i phobl, i ddeddfu ar gyfer Cymru ac i ddwyn Llywodraeth Cymru i gyfrif. I gael rhagor o wybodaeth ac i ganfod pwy sydd yn eich cynrychioli, ewch i cynulliadcymru.org neu gallwch chi'n dilyn ar Facebook a Twitter. The National Assembly for Wales is the democratically elected body that represents the interests of Wales and its people, makes laws for Wales, and holds the Welsh Government to account. For more information and to find out who represents you, go to assemblywales.org or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.